I've loved it.
Have you? It was because you got somewhere to stay, mate.
I'm not homeless.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind UK season 1. Oh my gosh. We haven't even started. Come on now. Season 1. Episodes 9 to 11. You good, girl? All right. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. If you were looking for the review on episode 9 and couldn't find it, you're not tripping. I did record it, but I didn't put it out. I had a long night. I think it was Saturday, either Friday or Saturday. And listen, we just never got to it, okay? The makeup was separated. I was very irritable. It was 2 a.m. There was a lot going on, but here are the highlights.
Oh no, what happened? And it was really, wasn't it? It was just, he couldn't eat. We've never seen him in a state like that, have we?
No. No, mama. The man couldn't eat. You loved this woman to the point where not being with her led you to not eat, to be depressed for days, which is what the mama's making it seem like. But you couldn't just tell her that you loved her? You're that emotionally repressed? Like, I don't know. With Nicole, her concern is the fact that Bayah was so hesitant regarding marriage in the pods. I wonder, is he giving up the nomad life to be with her? Is he going to be resentful to have to give that up for her? Just a lot of questions when it comes with these two. But again, can't believe I'm rooting for the homeless man. Some of y'all said I should stop calling him homeless. Where's his home? Where's his home?
Do you think Kat is high maintenance?
Yeah, I do a little bit, yeah. I think she is a bit, yeah. I think that I would not satisfy her.
He's concerned at the potential of not being ready by the wedding date. I wonder if that's the stuff that he's going through internally, or the way that Catherine has presented herself throughout this process. Is he like, no, you are somebody who I'm not ready to marry by wedding day? We're actually getting some insight on Freddy's mentality on certain things. So I wonder, where is this coming from? How long has he been feeling this way? Is it Catherine specific, or would he have felt this way regardless? Like, I have so many questions about Freddy. And because we've been focusing on Catherine for so long, I wonder, what are we missing regarding Freddy? In the reunion, I'm gonna need some extra clips, like I've been saying, because something about Freddy is not quite clicking, or his storyline is not quite clicking. Because I'm like, how did this become the narrative? He feels like he doesn't measure up.
But in the prenup, you got nothing of you in there.
I don't think so.
For me, it's a bit controlling.
Really? Can you change a prenup?
No.
Sorry. He's known this woman for at most 3 to 4 weeks. Who in their right mind would be like, oh yeah, forget my assets. You can be entitled to everything. It's totally fine. And also, people need to understand that a prenup isn't like everything that I'm coming in with and everything that I accumulate in this marriage, I am leaving with. It's not that. You can curate it to whatever fits your relationship. And if they stand the test of time, they can always have a post-nup. It's not control. I don't know how they got controlling from that. But then maybe that sheds a light on the mentality that Catherine has as well. Because something that seems rational to the vast majority is seen as something different to her, and clearly to her friends. It is pissing her off that she keeps proving herself, and at this point it feels like he is picking on her. Again, run the tapes, because when has he been picking on her?
We're in this family, we actually say grace.
No, we don't.
And I would like you to lead the prayer today.
It raised a question in my head: what religion, if any, do they plan on raising their kids? What's not having a religion? I'm gonna make up a term. Are they gonna be a-religious? Like, I wonder what's gonna happen here. And apparently a-religious is a real term, and it means unconcerned with or indifferent to religious matters. It might have to be a wrap. I don't know if these two can reconcile their differences by the wedding day.
You live far away.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Do you see yourselves gonna be together forever? How many girlfriends did you have? How's your education, Bobby?
I ended up not going to university.
Sometimes it's very difficult to communicate with a non-educated person. I'm very much involved.
So now we see where Jasmine gets her assertiveness from. Wow. goodness sakes. There could be some cultural nuance here, and I'm open to that perspective. She said it can be hard to communicate with uneducated people. She said something to that effect. I said, oh, okay. I see what she's saying. Do I? Between Jasmine and her mama, Bobby, you're gonna have to stand your ground at some point. Like, the way the mom said, oh, I'm very involved, and the way Jasmine obviously is a no-nonsense kind of babe, he might get chewed right on up. So everyone is going to the bridal shop stuff. They're doing their wedding dress shopping and suit shopping. Don't care.
Girl's back, and actually she's new and improved. Things to work on, you know, because the booty be busting out. You're like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't eat that, don't. Like, and you see like these beautiful women who are petite. Honestly, it's actually so bizarre that I was in that headspace at one point in my life. If I didn't go through this experiment, I would keep doing that, and actually that's not healthy.
I am glad that she is choosing to just let all that self-deprecation go. But I can assume I'm also a big girl. I'm bigger than her. People have said things. She has thought things about herself that haven't created the best self-image. Totally understand. But being with somebody who is self-loathing and self-deprecating a lot, it gets tiring. I'm not saying that she has done that, but I'm glad that she's choosing not to go down that road. We saw a bit of it at the beginning. I said, girl, don't be that girl. Please don't be that girl. People can feel when somebody is self-assured. People can feel when somebody is proud of who they are and how they are packaged and does not care what anybody else thinks. So I'm glad that she is choosing to focus on the good and not harp on the bad. Picking up in episode 10, all the women are basically sharing the same sentiment of being so overwhelmed by the process, but happy that at the end of it, they have found the love of their life. Allegedly. And the guys, really not too much happened in the guys' conversations. They also had different types of bachelorette parties. So the girls was more traditional, you know, they had the dancers, they had the all that. The guys, I don't even remember, they had a bar crawl and then something else, child. But anyways, Demi talks about not meeting Ollie's family until the wedding day. That's an interesting one for me. It's not like she's the only one. Maria also didn't get to meet Tom's family, and Jasmine didn't get to meet Bobby's family. At least that's what I'm assuming. Because when she called Bobby at the bachelor party, the friend was there, and we didn't get to see her meet the friend. So maybe they met and production didn't keep it in, or maybe they haven't met and they're just meeting at the wedding. I don't know. But for some of these people whose family is available to talk, why not do like a video call or something? I swear Love is Blind, the US version, has had that before. Or am I thinking about the people who would refuse to even go on video call? Like I'm thinking of Kwame and his mama, how she didn't even want to be on the phone. Tom talks about everyone being so optimistic about their relationships, but he is obviously having some doubts.
It kind of scares me a little bit. Everyone's speaking like in such positive terms about their other half.
I want to get married to her. I do. I'm being genuine. I'm telling you the truth. I want to, but...
Are you guys all being realistic about this?
You want to be confident with that decision, don't you? Make sure you're not messing up.
I want to marry Freddie. Like, I generally, like, this guy's amazing.
Have you asked him if he's ready for marriage?
Yeah, he said
And
yeah.
he says yeah.
It makes sense with these two couples specifically that they're having doubt. Well, Catherine is talking like she doesn't have any doubts, but everybody else is like, yeah, there's some things we definitely need to iron out. Attraction is present for both couples, but that is the most compatible they are. Outside of that, there are all these issues that they would need to iron out before getting married, and you definitely don't want to cross that threshold before coming to some kind of agreement, you know? Like, not to say, oh, we know what we are going to do exactly as a couple. I mean, you're figuring each other out till the day that you die, okay? My parents have been married almost 40 years. There's still some things they're figuring out, you know? But you got to be on at least a similar page, and both these couples are not giving similar page. So Maria already told her family, just because you see us here together doesn't mean we're saying yes at the altar. So she has expressed doubts already. Tom has expressed doubts, as we've heard. Freddy more recently has expressed doubts. And Catherine is there like, listen, yeah, I'm happy. I love my man. I'm ready to go. The first wedding is between Sabrina and Steven. I mean, come on. Do we even have to speculate what their answer is going to be? Of course, they said yes.
You stole my mind and my heart, and now I give you my unconditional love.
I promise to love you every day and have the patience that love requires on the more challenging days.
I do.
I do. Mr. and Mrs. Smith in the house.
Love you. I appreciate you.
I love you. I appreciate you.
This has to be one of the few times where a couple has been pretty smooth sailing for the most part, and I'm not bored of them. Because I remember the season from the most recent US one. What are their names? Amy. Yeah. Amy and Josh. Was his name Josh? They were quite forgettable, unfortunately, because it seemed like, what is there to talk about? I know they had that whole fertility thing, but what is there to talk about? These two also have that fertility storyline, but like from strength to strength, they've been going. Like strength to strength, alignment has just been there. It looks very cohesive between these two. It looks like they've been together for ages. It just makes sense. I wasn't bored of them at all. Glad they got married. Yeah. The next wedding is between Tom and Maria. They clearly have a good physical connection. But when it comes to the logistics of their relationship, some things aren't making sense.
Some of those values that we have and the way that we've been raised, like they're going to crop up more as we go through our lives together. Differing opinions around things like male and female roles and finances.
Me and Tom would never have met each other in the real world, and me and Tom never would have given each other the time of day in the real world. Never thought I'd go for anyone that is as emotional and sensitive as Tom, but it's literally what I need in life.
From day one, call me mom. Whoever married to my children, they'll be one of mine. I respect her.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. Yeah.
I promise you.
That's all.
The way I was on the verge of tears, I didn't cry. I thought I would cry because it was a really sweet moment and I tend to be crying and stuff. But yeah, I was on the verge when Fatima came in and she was like, as long as you are good to my daughter, you will be like a son to me. I thought that was really sweet, especially considering the fact that Tom's mom has made it very clear that she's not with this process at all, is not showing up, doesn't believe in this relationship. So yeah, it was nice to see him have support from her family. Now, this moment made me think like, oh my gosh, maybe they're going to work through the issues that they have. You know, the attraction is there for sure, but is that enough? Can they work through their differences? Whatever, maybe they can. They cannot.
Despite all our differences, cultures, love is transcendent.
I love you. Right now is not the right time for me. I haven't had enough time to really understand how those differences will affect our life day to day.
I absolutely can't believe this.
The way my jaw hit the floor. My jaw hit the floor. I knew that they should say no. I just didn't expect that they would say no. You know, wow. They both agree that there were just a lot of questions, a lot of concerns going into this marriage. It just doesn't make sense to say yes in the small amount of time that they have had. Now, Tom is seen saying that if they were to raise their kids, he doesn't want his daughter to think that it's up to the man to pay for everything. I hear that. But I feel like that was one of the lesser issues that they were having in their relationship. Like, you're already thinking about the kids. You're already thinking like that far in. There was stuff on the surface level that weren't making sense. But anyways, they agree that right now isn't the time. Don't know if they'll try to revisit it later, but yeah, it's a wrap on those two. Next is Demi and Ollie, and they both share that they have concerns, especially since they have separated to take time just before the wedding.
We have hardly had communication, really and truly, since leaving the apartment. The lack of contact in the time apart made me very anxious. Just the little things go a long way when you're away from someone.
Today's been pretty nerve-wracking. It started off on a bit of a low point for me. I don't feel like myself right now, man.
You don't? Nah. You'll make your mind just go too nuts, bro. And it doesn't, you don't need to.
Aaron has to be Ollie's boy from time. Like, not just the boss, because why is he always here? Like, that's his boyfriend. Unless they connected that deeply in the pods, this had to have been his friend prior to coming on the show. Best man? And where are Ollie's friends? Does Ollie have friends? I have so many questions. Anyways, we do know that for the most part, their values have aligned more than the majority of the couples. So that's never been a question. It's just been, how are they going to navigate like situations with other people? How are they going to deal with conflict resolution? I feel like they didn't have great conflict resolution skills. I felt like it was Demi accepting a lot of responsibility and being down on herself, and Ollie not taking as much accountability as he could have. I don't think he did take any accountability, but some of you guys say that he did, so fine. I think he could have taken more then, if that's the case. So yeah, compatibility is there on paper. It's now just the navigating it in real life. How does that work? So it's time for them to make a decision at the altar. Not going to lie, I think Ollie was putting on a front, but I had the same reaction he did.
I love you, but I do not.
Why?
Because I've learned to love myself in a whole different light. So I do not, for now. I know what I want from a husband.
I hope I can speak for both of us when I say we're both so grateful for all of you being here. The journey hasn't changed, just a slight diversion.
I was looking at Demi like, girl, why? What? But Demi was basically saying, I have grown so much in this process and I know the kind of husband that I'm looking for. And although I love you, you don't exemplify the type of, did she say this to his face? Anyways, although she loves Ollie, at this point in time, he doesn't exemplify the characteristics of the husband she would want to be married to. But she sees that there's potential there with him, so she's not shutting the door completely. Now, I think it was going to be a no regardless. I think that Ollie, listen, I think this was the best outcome for both of them. I think he has now escaped accountability for not being as into Demi as... I just still feel like he wasn't as into Demi as he wanted to be, as he wanted to show on the show. It just was never giving that for me. So I think it was better that she said no, because it was like, oh, she's the one who's unsure. And it also looks good on her because it's like, yes, Demi, stand your ground. Like, you have grown, you've done a lot of self-development here. Know your worth, know what you deserve. Not to say that like Ollie was bringing down her real estate or whatever, but it just wasn't making sense. And I would like for Demi to be the one in the driver's seat when it comes to that decision. Now, Ollie's having a conversation with Aaron, and he's basically relieved that it is ending in this way instead of ending in a messy divorce. I still don't think he would have said yes. I don't get the impression that he would have said yes, but he now has plausible deniability. The choice wasn't his, it was Demi's, so it is what it is. Next to get married is Jasmine and Bobby. Jasmine shares that just before the wedding, her mom was still expressing, I can't even say concerns. The mama was just not with it.
I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I've been crying like nonstop. She has, you know, kind of planted her seeds of doubt. I had hoped Mum would be like, oh, he's amazing for you. Obviously now I know deep inside, like, she's not feeling that. She's my mum, so of course I'm gonna take what she says into consideration. I just need to, I guess, take control of my emotions and not let that affect me.
A few things that Jasmine's mom brought up was the fact that Jasmine loves Bobby more than Bobby loves Jasmine, and that Bobby's financial status might lead him to not be able to provide for Jasmine. The thing with Jasmine is that she's obviously let her mom run her life for a long periodically time, and at some point she's gonna have to decide to take ownership of her own life. The mom has already expressed that she has 2 failed marriages under her belt, and it almost feels like, not it almost feels like, it's likely that she's using her daughter to correct her own mistakes. She's trying to live vicariously through her so she can amend where things went wrong in her own life. All you can do as a parent, well, let me not say all you can do. all you should do as a parent is raise your child to the best of your ability and hope that as an adult, they carry out the lessons that you have instilled in them. And you just hope that you have taught them enough lessons to steer them away from that situation. But that decision is Jasmine's at the end of the day. So at the altar, they say yes. And Jasmine's mama, her tone completely shifted.
You came into my life and made me believe that there is someone who can love me for who I truly am. And love is accepting and love should be kind. And that's what I realized with you.
And I'm committed to spending the rest of my life trying to make you the happiest woman in the world. I do.
I do.
They look so happy together. My God.
Love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
Not mama saying she loves Bobby. Not mama saying she's so happy that Jasmine has found the love of her life. She wishes that they have a long, happy marriage. What? Okay, listen. Maybe all this while Jasmine's mom wasn't actually this upset, but it just looked nice for the storyline. Who knows? But yeah, she's happy for them. She says that... no, I didn't write down what she says, so let's move on. Jasmine, very clearly, in my opinion, sits in the driver's seat when it comes to this marriage. And it looks like Bobby is okay with being along for the ride. So I wish them all the best. I am so intrigued to know how their first year of marriage went. Yeah, I'm so excited to hear that. What an interesting dynamic. Next to get married is Bayah and Nicole. Benaya's family couldn't be there because his grandfather is ill, but they've already given their blessing, so that's good for them. It was basically a no-brainer, at least to me, that these two were gonna say yes.
I felt like you were my kindred spirit, and I feel with you, life could really be an adventure.
You accept me for who I am, flaws included. The moments when we can laugh and be silly together show me that I found the perfect person. I do. Of course I do.
I do.
Mr. and Mrs. Grunewald Briding?
Yes. I'll learn that soon.
Yes.
All season long, I've been speculating whether or not this is a planted couple. This whole storyline is a plant. I want to see how they handle Sam at the reunion. I do want to see it. Because this storyline, I don't know. I'm struggling to believe in it. And some people in the comments were saying, oh, I can't think she's an actress just because she's been on another show. I said that before I knew she was on another show. So I don't know. I think all three of them, cahoots. But we'll see. One thing it never is that deep. It's just a show. It's just entertainment. Even if it's all cahoots, who gives a damn, okay? They ended in a marriage. They look very happy. We are happy for them. Last to get married is Freddy and Catherine. Not gonna lie, because there were so many weddings, I thought for sure we were done at Bayah and Nicole, but no. We got one more. Before the wedding, Freddy's sister sits him down and is like, not gonna lie, quite skeptical.
I don't really want it to influence anything or change your mind. I do worry that you are on different pages. I don't know, she's just different to you.
Yeah. What I worry about is she's trying to portray herself as what she thinks I want in a girl.
I think that's why I feel a lot of anxiety around today. Just stay true to yourself, and whatever your decision is, we 100% support it.
Based on what we've seen, it's best for these two not to explore any kind of relationship, because she has her self-worth things that she has admitted herself she needs to work through. His personality grates at her. That's an issue. They don't agree on their finances and the whole prenup situation. He thinks that her lifestyle isn't conducive to his own lifestyle. And he also feels like she is telling him what he wants to hear. Like, on both ends, this relationship doesn't make sense. And although they seem to suit on the physical part, like, that's the thing for me. The couples that seem to suit more on the physical part than the compatibility part are the ones that should absolutely say no. The ones where it's flipped, let's say maybe Demi and Ollie. I mean, the physical was growing, but in the beginning, we all had that concern. Those are the ones where you can at least have a little bit more hope because the foundation is good. But if the foundation is the physical attraction, but all your other values don't align, your compatibility is just not there, what's the point? Like, what are we even doing? So I was already walking into this like, y'all should not do this. Lo and behold, here we are at the altar. And Freddy is like, not gonna lie to you, girl. This ain't it.
Now is the time to decide if love is blind.
I do.
I love your cat. But at the time, it might not be right for us. This isn't a goodbye. It's not a rejection of the love that we share. I'm hoping that we're still going to pursue a life together. We're still going to live together. We do need to work on our things we can, overcome.
Okay. I appreciate you being honest.
I think you can still stay together and give it a shot.
I mean, he loves me, but he's not in love.
Catherine's face? Hell would freeze over with a look like that. And then he went in for the hug. Not gonna lie, even me, I was like, don't hug her. Like, this is not the time to hug her. But why, even when she said I do, was she so blank like that? Did she know he was gonna say no? I don't know. So anyways, Freddy says that their relationship just doesn't make sense right now. He says that he's not saying no for real for her, like not saying no for real, but maybe they could work out things in the future. Catherine is like, he doesn't even love me. He's not in love with me, actually. She said he might love me, but he's not in love with me. I don't know. We didn't get to see a lot about Freddy's inner thoughts regarding like himself and where he stands. He did raise concerns about Catherine, but we didn't get a lot of introspective talking head moments with him. So there is a little mystery there with Freddy. We can't ever say that he wasn't ready for marriage. We don't know his intentions. We don't know where he's at in his life. But we do know that with Catherine, there is a lot of work, inner work that needs to be done. And even she acknowledges that. So maybe it is the best that she takes some time to herself to just work through some things. Now, the streets are saying that Catherine is with Sam. That just feels like a train wreck waiting to happen, honestly. What? And if that is the case, Catherine is going to be the villain of the season because you played in Freddy's face just for you to end up with somebody like Sam. Like, that's insane. I feel like Sam is even less serious than Freddy. And she was annoyed, like, oh, I want you to be serious sometimes and I want you to be... And then you go with somebody like Sam, if the rumors are true, like, that's insane. Anyways, I'm ready for the reunion. I want to see Sam get his ass handed to him, but I just feel like they're not going to go down that route. I know they're not going to do it. It's fine, whatever. So the episode ends with all the non-married people just reflecting on the process. They all agree that it was worth it because they did experience love. A lot of them are trying to keep the door open with their partner. Catherine is like, I don't know how I feel about this man. Then they cut to the married people. Steven, Sabrina, it looks like a couple that has been together from ages. It just makes sense. Bayah and Nicole, it also makes sense now, post the pause. In the pause, it was looking sketchy, but since the pause, it just makes sense. Then I fell out when they started playing. There's no way. I don't even think I can play it now because it's kind of like it would be considered copyright under Netflix. What a good play on Bobby's part. Isn't that a good play on Bobby's part? Like, a song from the pandemic that not many of us knew about is now like a Netflix staple. So genius. I don't know if that was the plan, but you played it well. Good job, sir. I'm so intrigued to see all the couples first year. I want to know if what's their names now? Steven, Sabrina decided to stay in London or go to Belfast. I want to know Bayah and Nicole, this whole like nomadic thing. Even the friends made a joke like, where do you live? Ha ha ha, homeless. How? I want to know how they work that out. And then with Bobby and Jasmine, I want to know if he is still content with being in the passenger seat. Or maybe he's just a silent driver and she's just a very vocal passenger. Don't know. Very intrigued by that. And I want to see how much smoke they're going to give Sam, if any. If any. So that's all my thoughts on this season. It has been quite a trip. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.